Peace through strength. That's what I want to talk to you about today. Because on Friday, Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, came to the White House trying to get the United States to continue funding its war with Russia. And President Trump put Zelensky in his place. I want to play a little bit of the interaction between J.D. Vance, the Vice President of the United States, President Trump, and Zelensky for you, and then I want to talk about it because it's quite interesting. Take a look at this.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly
this.
I'm not
You're in
dictating.
no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good.
You will feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war,
You're not
Mr.
in a
Brown,
good position. You don't have the
in
cards right now. With us, you start having
not playing
cards.
cards.
But right now, you
I'm
don't.
very
You're playing
serious,
cards.
Mr. President.
You're
I'm
playing
very
cards.
serious.
You're gambling
I'm the
with the
president
lives
in
of
war.
millions of people.
You're
gambling with World War III.
What do you
You're
think about?
gambling with
What do you
World
think
War
about?
III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. That's
with
back
all
to you.
respect to your
Far
country.
more than a lot of people said.
I watched the entire C-SPAN interview, and if you want to see it, I'll post a link to it in the description of this video so you can watch it. But the entire time, Zelensky pouted like a little child because President Trump was trying to negotiate peace between Russia and Ukraine and to end this war. And I believe that it would be in the best interest of the entire world to bring this war to an end. If it were me, we wouldn't have given over $180 billion to Ukraine over the past 3 years. But here we are. And President Trump was trying to negotiate a deal to end the war and also to get Zelensky to pay back the money that he owes us by allowing the United States access to its minerals. I think that's fair. But instead, what we saw here, if you watch the entire interview, was Zelensky coming into a place, coming into our White House, saying that he would not negotiate peace until he got what he wanted. Do you really think you're in a position to do that, Zelensky? After we've spent over $180 billion funding Ukraine to begin with? If I were President Trump, I wouldn't have authorized a dime from the very beginning. Not to mention what you've gotten from Biden. And then you think that you're so entitled that you can come into the executive mansion of the United States and then try to tell us what to do? I don't know about you guys, but I was glad to see President Trump putting this pouty little baby in his place. You don't get to come set the terms of the deal when you're asking us for money to fund your war. That's not how it works. And it should also tell you something, my friends, when Zelensky is the one saying, no, we will not negotiate peace, and President Trump saying that neither one of these people are good people, which I tend to agree with. Neither Zelensky or Putin are good people. But you have to be an arbiter between two sides if you want to negotiate peace. You can't go and suck up to one side over the other. And besides, the United States shouldn't be sucking up to anyone. And anyone who watched this interview and thinks that President Trump is sucking the United States up to Vladimir Putin is blind. He's trying to negotiate peace between the two nations, which is more than the Biden administration has done. If you've watched my previous videos on my YouTube channel about how President Biden addressed the Russia-Ukraine conflict, that man pushed us closer to World War III. Trump is trying to do the right thing here. Trump is trying to negotiate peace. that is best for America, it's best for Ukraine, and it's best for Russia. I don't want these little madmen trying to pull the whole world into a third world war. Peace is the best option for all nations involved. And Zelensky should be paying back the money that we've already given him, not trying to say, oh, you're going to give us more, and we're not going to even attempt to negotiate peace until you give us what you want. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are that you can tell America what to do when we're the one that has been financing your bills? If it were me, you wouldn't have gotten a dime to begin with, because I don't believe it is in our interest to fund either side. I don't want to see a proxy war. I don't want to see what America has done in the Middle East and Europe. I think that we should strive for peace with all nations. And so President Trump announced today that he will be halting Ukraine aid until Zelensky attempts to negotiate peace with Russia. This is how you get a deal done. Now, I don't know what's going to happen here, but this is good. And every freedom-loving American, every peace-loving American, regardless of how you feel about President Trump, should see that he's trying to play 4D chess here, trying to end this war, which is good, and trying to get Ukraine to pay back the money it's already owed. How is this not a good thing? How can someone say that this is irresponsible? They have been irresponsible with the money that we've already given them. And I don't believe that it's the U.S. best interest to be funding either side. I want to see this war over. I want to see it out of the news, because I do not believe that it's in America's best interest. And I certainly do not want to see things escalated. And I am glad that we have someone who is trying to negotiate peace. It makes us all safer. It makes the world a better place when we strive for peace. If you agree with me, do me a favor. Please like this video, share it, and subscribe to my channel for more content.